Ladies and gentlemen, wow! Yeah, I've known this gentleman for a very long time. Welcome to the industry street. But ladies and gentlemen, this guy, we go back so long. I don't even think we even started going back when we was in the music scene. I used to date one of his friends from way back. And that's how I met this gentleman. His name's Christopher George. I knew him as Christopher George, but Christopher George, aka to you, is known as DJ Christoss. Welcome to the industry street, sir.
Thank you for inviting me into your platform.
Oh, you're more than welcome. And Chris, we've known each other even before the music, weren't it?
Yeah.
It was way before. Yes. And a lot of people don't recognise Susan McRae. Used to be my partner back in the day. Way back.
College days?
It was wow.
It was myself, Susan, Debbie John Pierre, yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. But you know, it's all about you, because you have now touched, you know, the industry street is about people that have put their name on the platform, and a lot of people would like to know what the real story is about them, how they created themselves to be on a higher platform with you yourself. I mean, talking about not only you're a DJ, you're also a manager, but before all that came about, there's a bigger story. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say Christopher George, aka Mr. Christoss. This is all about your life.
It's all about my life.
You were born up in East London, I do believe. I don't know, but was it more Forest Gate?
Yeah, I was born in Forest Gate Hospital.
Okay.
Forest Gate Hospital.
Okay.
Which is now a mental...
Flats, isn't it?
No, I think they've turned it into a hospital for people that's got mental health.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it was Forest Gate Hospital.
Okay.
I was £2 13 ounces.
No one's told us their weight.
I was £2 13 ounces. I came at 7 months. They read me the last rites and they said I wouldn't make it. And here I am. Yeah. The priest came, read me the last rites.
May I ask, why did they say that?
Because I was premature. I was only £2 13 ounces. I came at 7 months.
So you were too small?
Too small.
Wow.
Back then, it was a case of what they done was my poor dad, they said to my dad, either you got to choose out of your wife to have the blood transfusion or your child. So obviously he chose my mum, but there's a bit of blood left and they gave me the blood transfusion. And
you're here to tell the tale?
I'm here to tell the tale.
Amazing. Congratulations for that. That's an achievement alone. But then along the way, because of that, in the schooling, how were you in school? Because you don't seem like a controversial person. You don't get into dramas or nothing. You stay away from all that. Or are you a secret little nit now? Are you one of those? Are you one of those quiet guys that's like you're friends with everybody, but you're a little two-faced little ass? Come on, Chris.
Well, I must admit, in school, I wasn't the academic one. I didn't like football. I wasn't into none of that. Right. You know, I did try it. I mean, I used to be picked to go, you know, Mr. PE. We go out, we started doing the football. They picked the team. What really happened with me in the football was they picked a team. I was the last person to be chosen. I was on the side, started playing the football. I kicked the ball in the net and I scored. Wow. And unfortunately, I kicked it in the other team's net.
Right.
And I got beat up. And I just said, I hate this game. I'm never going to do it.
Never going to do it again.
Played a bit of cricket.
I ask everybody this, and it's true to ask you as well. It has to be asked. Were you bullied?
Yes, I went through a bit of bullying. But what it was, okay, so you said, let's go back to the question they asked. Was I a little bit of a drama? I was the person that would make the situation happen. And then as the fight gonna take off,
you run away.
I'm on the bus. I'm home. And the next time I go to school, what happened? No, you're lying. Really? Oh my gosh, you knew.
Wow.
I did do a little bit of that. A little bit, not a lot.
You're a sneaky one.
In between. Just saying how it is.
Wow. So schooling, so obviously exams and stuff like that?
Exams and stuff like that. You know, remember it was CSEs or GCSEs. It was back then. You know, I've got to admit, I didn't really... I like drama. I really enjoyed drama. I really enjoyed cookery.
Right.
You know, the English, maths and that. Yeah, I came out with B's, a few C's, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I must admit, with drama, straight A's, music, straight A's, cookery, straight A's. You know, academically, yeah, I got myself around.
We're talking about cookery because obviously when you left school, which a lot of people don't recognise this, you're actually a very high qualified chef.
Yes, I am.
And that is what your 9 to 5 is.
Yeah.
But before you did the chef work, have you been doing kitchen work since you left school? Or is it, no, you had other little bits that you used to do before?
Well, to be honest with you, what it was, when I left school, when I was in school, we used to do discos. So I used to do playing the music for the discos. We used to do the drama things and the plays and that. I would get involved in that bit. And to be honest with you, what I really wanted to do was be an actor. Okay. That was my first love.
There's still time?
Well, there you go. We also was into music.
Yes.
So I was into.
So that's where the music came in gradually.
Yeah. So I was singing, me and Debbie John Pierre and Linda John Pierre.
Yes.
We used to sing, and Susan McRae. We used to sing in the group, CSD and Finesse. We both sung. So I used to sing back then.
Yes.
Trying to make records and that kind of stuff. But in terms of cookery, you know, I'd done the cookery at school. So when I left school, I went to college to qualify as a chef, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to go to drama school, but unfortunately them times there, the money
wasn't there.
The money wasn't there.
Yeah.
They wasn't giving grants to go to drama school, but they gave grants to go to college for cookery.
For cookery, yeah.
So what it was, at home, my mum and my gran, my late mum, my late gran, they taught me how to cook. So at 12 years old, I cooked the full roast dinner, rice and peas, soaking your peas, the whole bit.
So you didn't actually just let mum or dad, or more so mum, be in the kitchen, cook on her own and just go and play your game, or you wanted to sit there and study?
I wanted to sit there and study like my dad. My dad was an excellent chef.
Right.
So when my mum and dad split up, obviously I had to be the man of the house. I mean, I was 12 when they split up. I had to be the man of the house. And, you know, with my little brother, he was younger than me. He was 7 years younger than me. So at the time I had to, you know, I wanted to know. I wanted to know how to make bread. How do you make the black cake? How do you make the rum cake? You know, you know, when you know, back then, like now it's changed. You know, you buy your chicken, you wash your chicken, you cook your chicken. But back then, you know, you had to burn the feathers and all that. And I wanted to know, how did you get that
Chris,
taste?
I think everybody wants to know this as well. You say about the chicken, you have to wash your chicken.
Yeah.
But we've heard that if you wash your chicken, you're actually infecting the chicken. Is that right?
Well, what's happened now in the last, because of now all the allergy things have come into play.
Right.
So before, like I work for primary school. Right. I'm a catering manager for a primary school. I've got my team and everything else. And what's happened was, back then, you know, before you wash it, I mean, I've been in my company for 11 years.
You've been there a long time, I know.
I've been there a long time now in the school, right? But it was a case of, before you wash the meat and everything, now we cannot wash the meat at all. We're not meant to wash the meat.
You could just put lemon on it, is that right? Or you can't even...
They don't even want you to put nothing. You just get the meat, you see it. So when you cut the bits, so say if you buy like diced lamb, now you know that's got a lot of blood in the lamb. When the lamb comes in, it's air packed in the bags.
Yes.
You bust that, bare blood, you just got to push that in, whatever you're cooking it in.
So you're basically eating bloody meat in a sense.
Well, yes.
But you have to, no matter what you cook it and it disappears, it's still in the pores of the meat, isn't that right?
Well, what they're saying is, when you wash the meat, you're taking away the goodness of the meat. Just like,
do you agree with that?
Me personally, no. That's my personal opinion.
So you still wash your meat?
At home? At work, no.
But
because obviously I have to give it to them how they want it. I mean, like it's like, for instance, if you go and you would get a steak, they say the best way to eat a steak is medium
rare. That's disgusting.
Right? So when you're cutting the steak,
all the blood
comes out.
Yeah.
So when you come to think about it, when I'm cutting the bag of the lamb and you're putting it in to them or to Joe Public, to the masses of the catering industry, that is the goodness of the meat. But as black people, growing up in the industry, growing up in life, wash your meat with lemon, lime, vinegar, whatever you need to do before you season that. Yes. There you go. And then you asked the question, was I bullied at school? I did take a little bit of a roughing up, it wasn't a lot because I had older cousins. So like
And they dealt with it.
They dealt with it. Like my cousin Rosalind Blaze, who just passed away 2 weeks ago.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Rose. She was a twin, right? So when her and her sister Rosa and Rosalind came down, like, is there any accolades?
The claws came out.
The claws came out, and they were older. They were the older ones. And it's funny, I never ever really got in trouble with people my own age group. There's always the older ones.
Yes.
They looked to pick on me.
Yes.
They came down to school, squashed.
Well, talking about that, because after the food situation, which you've been in the food industry for such a long time, on the sideline, even doing a couple of little discos and stuff, you got to like the music in a big way.
Yeah.
Could you tell me of how much you liked the music? How did you start off with the music side?
Okay, well, the music side comes from my mum and dad. My dad was a reggae man, even though he was a reggae man but liked his soul. So he would like things like, Bob Marley was his idol, so it's Bob Marley, Dennis Brown, Gregory Isaac. But then he would have his Al Green, and Isaac Hayes, and blah blah blah.
But that comes into the old soul, which is known as rare groove now.
Right.
Yes.
So my mum, she was a soul lady, right? But also, I say soul stroke conversational music. She liked anything from Elvis Presley to the Manhattans to Burning Spear, Toots and the Maytals. So in my household there was lots of different musics going on. There was music, so there was music of everything. So I didn't have no choice but to get myself into everything. I know I've got pictures of me being so young, holding the 7 inches. I couldn't read. But if my dad said to me
When you say you couldn't read, are you classed as a dyslexic then?
I am classed as dyslexic, yes.
So am I.
But when I mean I couldn't read, I mean I was so young. You was starting out reading.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I was starting out reading, but if they said to me, go and play my favourite record, I knew I had a label. So I knew that label, that was mummy's tune, that label was daddy's tune, that label was granny's tune. Right? So in my years of music, my dad used to work for Ford's, so he used to get a lot of music as imports. Remember, they used to get the imports from Jamaica. So he always got the sealed Bob Marleys, everything, the Burning Spears, the this, that.
And you grabbed the copy.
And I grabbed the copy. Then my mum, she used to work for Pi Records. So like all my Love Unlimited, my Barry Whites, and all that came from her. The rare groove side, she used to get them.
But as we go longer through the story, your love is really neo soul right now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So tell me that neo soul is, which I know for a fact, is neo soul's just bits of records that you missed out, and up and coming artists that are trying to get into the industry, which have been accepted by the underground. Is that right, me saying that?
I would say that to a degree, but I feel, for me personally, my personal feeling of neo soul is modern day rare groove.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
Okay, cool.
So in a sense of,
well, it's the new rare groove.
It's the new rare groove.
It's the new rare groove.
So it's new artists that are now breaking in the industry that has gone back and trying to grab that authenticness of the rare groove
from back in the day. Gotcha.
That's how I see it. And the only reason why I say that is because 2009 it was, I went to Atlanta to the International Music Soul Summit. And let me tell you something, that was then the eye-opener to this neo soul thing.
Right.
So it was like a workshop. So you had music workshop. So you had a music workshop, you had a songwriting workshop, how to write a hit, how to work with instruments, backing singers, songwriting.
Well, I see that, because obviously, you have a big artist at the moment that you manage. We're going to get to that later on in the program. But obviously, from that now, gearing all the way up, you managed to hook on to so many big names, which are big names now, which back in the day were like run around friends. But you've linked onto all these people now, so you're very well known in the industry. How did you manage to create that?
Creating it, I suppose, going back a piece, it was about friends. You started off with your friends. So like Tipper D, Derek Dupee, we used to be in the same main attraction, right?
Which was part of you, wasn't it?
Which was
you
part,
were a part of that. That was
definitely,
your, was that,
that was my very first sound.
That was your first sound.
My very first sound. And we were in the sound together. You know, we had a couple of other people that joined the sound, but it was me and Derek. So Derek used to mainly play the reggae, I used to mainly play the soul.
Yeah.
And then, you know, but in saying that, you know, I've got a love of reggae as well, especially like Lovers Rock and Revival and all that. But that was his baby, and I used to play the soul. And I came out of that sound. The next sound after that I joined was Main Attraction. That was with Kenny Ramsey, Barrington Palmer, aka Easy B from Sweet Vibes Inc.
He's with me now, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, on Injection.
Yeah.
Dean Undercover.
Yes.
Right. Kevin Lendl, and that was Main Attraction. It was reggae, it was rare groove, but it was mainly more soul. It was very much a soul sound.
Yeah.
It was very much a soul sound.
What makes a good sound? A good sound? Because I notice you jump ship quite a lot.
Well,
and you're comfortable now, but you jump ship quite a lot.
Yeah, but if you think about it, what it is, jumping ship, in a sense you say jump ship, but what really, it's a case of I have got staying power. So I haven't just been there for a little couple of years and then go. I mean, with Main Attraction, we were together for quite a while.
Right.
But that was in our team. That was in our beginning stages of playing music. Yeah. With the one turntable and the sponge and the needle. Yeah.
Legend.
We came from that. Scoops on. Then from there, I went to Main Attraction. Main Attraction. Main Attraction run for a while, and then what happened? There was differences in the camp, and then we dispersed. But myself, Dean, and Barrington joined them. Perfect Beat. We made a sound called Perfect Beat. Perfect Beat didn't last that long because by that time, I think we all decided that we wanted to disperse and do other things. Yeah. And to be honest with you, we all started our chefing career at more or less the same time. Dean done it, I done it, then Barrington.
Yeah, because Barrington's obviously
also a chef, and we worked together, as you know, right?
Good, yeah.
So we done that. From there, I left Perfect Beat. I was doing my own thing for a bit because every so often I have a moment where I do my own thing. Then I joined Cousins Incorporated.
Cousins Incorporated was a very big name for you at the time.
Very big.
Which is where you, of course, got because you're like brothers with Shoe Doctor.
Shuey.
And of course you had Quincy on there.
But sorry to interrupt. Cousins started with RS Digital.
Digi, we can't forget Digi.
Can't forget Digi.
That's your cousin.
That's my cousin.
Yes.
And then Lady Sass.
As well.
Also my cousin.
That's right.
And then Floyd.
Yeah, Touch Flow. Yeah.
Right? He's also my cousin. So we're all family.
Look, that's it. Family. That's where all the links is. Because Flo was the house DJ.
Right.
And he knew all the house DJs. Right. So that's where you got to know all the house DJs. After. And then everybody else was just a mix and match that everybody knew everybody. And that was a very successful Cousins Incorporated. Very, very successful sound.
So as you know, RS, you was like the pioneer of rare groove.
Yes, 100%.
Touch Flow.
He produced a lot of rare groove.
Yeah. Touch Flow also. He was into a bit of rare groove, a good bit of rare groove, but also he had his reggae thing. Sass,
and then he slipped over into house.
Yes. Sass, remember me and Sass used to play on the radio station together.
Yes.
So she was very much into like the slow jam part of it and the personal. Because
everybody stayed in their lane.
Everybody stayed in their lane.
Yeah.
Then Shuey joined.
Yes.
And then when Shuey came along,
was a reggae man, wasn't he?
And he was a reggae man. Yeah. Then Polito jumped on.
And he's the MC.
And he was the MC.
Yeah.
And Touchflow was also an MC.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Polito jumped on. Then Quincy came about. Then not even Quincy came about, and Boogie came first before Quincy. And then, so the sound went big. But then what you have to understand was Touchflow then moved into his house thing. Sass was with us, and she was doing some of the parties. So some of the parties she done with me, some of the parties she done with Shuey, some of the times we done it all together. But obviously, it was for the love of the sound. RS went his way. He went and done it, but he's abroad. But he was doing more production stuff, so he came out of that. And then there was a time when it was just me, Shuey, Polito, and Sass.
Which you guys, most of you still do a lot of work together.
Definitely.
But the situation is now you're with a legendary sound as well right now. which is of course called After Dark.
So I went to After Dark. After Dark now, I'm still a part of After Dark, but I'm solo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's been for many years now. I mean, with After Dark, you know, from Cousins, I went to After Dark.
Which the founder was, of course, who sadly laid to rest, Mr. Fox.
Yeah, Mr. Fox. Well, it was funny. It wasn't really. I didn't meet the guys through Fox.
Right.
I used to go around with Bradley's sister.
Okay.
Juliet Gross.
Okay.
So me and Juliet used to move through my friend Donovan, through my brother. He's like my brother. He's my brother right there, Donovan Taylor. So Donovan introduced me to Juliet. We used to have the house dances, the late house dances. We used to go to 6, 8 o'clock in the morning, bam, bam. That's how it went.
Them days will never come back, Chris, will they?
Those days, it's sad. It's sad to know that it will never come back, but those days that we'll never forget. Never. And then a friend of mine called Maxine, which is Donovan's friend, she had her birthday party. It was her 25th birthday party, and 25th, it was her 30th. And she asked me to come along to play. So I went to the party, I was playing. Brandy Lee came with Roger Bailey and his sister Juliet, and we came. And what happened was I was playing music, he picked up the mic.
And you flowed well.
And it just flowed. And you know, if you just walked into that rave, you would have think, my God, they've been playing together for years.
Yes.
Wasn't.
That was the first time.
This is the first time, and this is the first time I met him.
Okay.
I met Roger Bailey. Played music, we rock up the party. You know the one where you're just, the vibes, I remember that was still vinyl days. Mash up the party. When we finished mashing up the party, the next day, Juliet called me and she goes, Lee said he would like to meet you here because he said you're the mixing link for the sound After Dark, for their sound After Dark.
Brilliant.
Jumped in the sound. What
are
we now? 27 years.
We've still been in there.
Still, you know, we're still boys and everything else. But for me, After Dark is my family, as I said. Cause all the sounds I've been in, the good thing about it, I've always left the sounds with good feeling, so we can always come back together
if you need to.
And we need to. I mean, Tipper, I played a party not too long ago. He came to the party with me. He held the mic. You know, Dad, aka Polito, we're out tonight. Shuey, as you know, we do a lot of things on the lives and everything else. And I've got to say, for Shuey, he's the one that basically got me into getting to the laptop thing because, and also. I forgot Midnight Express with Frankie Too Sweet, my cousin Frankie.
Yeah.
And Frankie also was another one. He wasn't in Cousins, but he was around Cousins. But then after that...
So it's really basically, it's all about a family affair.
Yeah, and Midnight Express came after Cousins. That's what came after Cousins before After Dark. Yeah.
Right. And the situation is now, with the industry right as it is, because I know I can talk to you for ages, but going a few years forward now, of course you're doing a lot of the stuff, flying abroad, doing the events abroad and stuff like that. But what do you find the state of the industry now? How are you finding it?
The state of the industry now, I would say it's really changed. Everything's changed. The music's changed. Like, you know, before you'd be excited to go to a record shop, like Wise for Sound, for instance. Go to a record shop, you don't even know the tune. They play a snippet, taking it. You get home, the excitement, go home, scoops, put the needle on, you play it.
It's the feel of it.
The feel of it, the everything. You get home, you listen to the tune. Now you know you're going to this rave, you got X amount of tunes. That one. Right? You play it for the first time. I'm a person, if I like a tune, I'm gonna make you love that tune. Trust me. I will pull it up. No one's screaming, no one nothing. By the third time, everybody's screaming. They might not know the song, but they know the chorus or they know the hook. Right? We went from vinyl to CD. Okay, we changed over a bit. We've gotten used to the CD. Now we're on laptop. But you see, what's happened is where all these MP3s are coming in and bag a tune. There's so much tunes that get slipped through the net. And you're saying about the industry. For me, we don't get to enjoy the tune enough. I mean, to me, there's a lot of DJs that are getting new music, and as soon as they get the new music, they're on the, you know, you send them a tune today, they play it 1 and 2 times, and they're on to the next. Where before,
Just study.
We were rinsing the tune for how long?
Yeah.
We could rinse an album for a whole year.
Do you think that's because they're scared of being left behind? And a lot of it, to my belief, tell me if I'm right or wrong, it's who played it first.
Who played it first? Who's got it first? Who's got the dub on it? Who's got the everything on it? Rubbish. Me personally, a pack of toot. And the reason why I say a pack of toot is because you're not enjoying the tune enough. You don't digest the tune enough to enjoy the tune enough. Yeah? And my thing is, we used to enjoy music.
But when you go to a rave and your DJ's on there, all DJs are competing against each other.
But there you go. There's a competing against each other. There's the one that wants to outshine each other. It's all of that. And for me, it's not about that. It's about going out, playing good music and saying, I've made that crowd in front of me enjoy themselves. One of the most beautifulest things is when you're playing a tune that you love and that crowd is singing it back to you.
But you decided, of all the genres of music that you could have just took a grasp of and say, this is what I am, you took neo soul. You're known more for neo soul now.
Yeah.
What made you decide to switch over to go to taking risks? Because that's what it really is.
When I went to Atlanta in 2009.
And that made you
When I went to
mind.
Atlanta in 2009, right? I went to it was in Atlanta. Me and Nadine Charles, another brilliant singer, we went to Atlanta to do the International Music Soul Summit. And I tell you what, when I walked into this place, so, you know, that time it was MySpace. Remember?
Yes, MySpace, yes.
So there was like, I was into Kanye Doss from the first album, A Poem to Kanye Doss, right?
Yes.
I was listening to Legacy, I was listening to Ndambi, I was listening to Erykah Badu, Eric Robinson, you know, Eric Benet. I was into it. There was something about the music then that I felt, yeah. Because you see, the part of also my history is jazz.
Yes.
I'm very, well, you know that.
Yes.
I love jazz. And
Yes.
that is through my cousins as well.
Yes.
My cousins Edwina and Carol. Carol used to be married to Brian Gustav. Brian was the drummer for Carol Thompson and all them guys. Right?
Yeah.
So she had the reggae. Her sister Edwina used to introduce me to jazz. And this was when I was back at school. I mean, like late primary school, going into secondary school. So I was into things like Ronnie Laws, LQ, Herbert Laws. I was very much Lonnie Liston Smith. That was me back then as a child. As I said, with the musical influence at home. So it all kind of like mashed together, right? As years went on, Brian Gustav Rimbim. Remember Rimbim?
I remember the name.
The name. So he was playing for Carol Thompson. He was a drummer for them. So what happened was, that was that. But when I started listening to neo soul, it's like a mash of all the jazz and the slow jam. You know, I love a slow jam, right? And all of that together went to the Music Soul Summit. In this Music Soul Summit, there was Kanye Doss. There was Keisha Jackson, the daughter of Minnie Jackson. There was, who else did I meet? Anthony David. There was so many artists and they were talking about their life, they were talking about them in the industry. And you know, I mean, thank you. I mean, one of the things I'll say is, what it really done it for me was, you know, I've always had it in my mind, you're a singer. Oh my God, you're famous. Oh my God, you're a singer. You got money. Met April Hill. I've met Kanye Doss. I've met this one, that one, that one. I said the panel, and they invited me to come over to do the Music Soul Summer as a DJ. As a DJ.
To play over there.
Stroke. No, yeah, I played over. No, I didn't play over there. What it was, a part of the forum was a DJ from overseas. What is it like over there? Playing the independent soul, the neo soul. How is it received? How are these artists on this panel received in the UK? Right? On top of that, I was managing an artist at the time, and I brought him into the forum. So they didn't know about him because obviously he's further back then to where these guys are, because these are forward further than him. So he then got introduced to some of these artists, and then it was like, oh my God, this is something. You know, neo soul then became like a movement, and it started to take off and started to, you know, music, soul child and blah blah
it's
blah.
all a link, isn't it?
And it was all a link.
Yeah.
But I tell you what was the most beautifulest thing of it all, before we left, because even the Dean played at the end of it, but the most beautifulest thing they had, so in the day they would have the forum, and in the evening they'd have the concert, right? It went on for 3 nights, and they had the concert. And let me tell you something, you had Christoss, you had Ndambi, you had Keisha Jackson, and it was Legacy, yeah? And they sang 4 of their tunes each, but they backed each other.
Okay.
And let me tell you something, Peter,
amazing.
To look at these big powerhouse singers,
Profiles, yeah.
right, backing each other. So when Christoss finished, she went and done backing vocals for Keisha Jackson. The 3 of them, and they just rotated and done the show. And I said, look at this, yeah? Even in the reggae fraternity, I would love to see Carol Thompson, Janet Kay, whoever, Sandra Cross, and they do that.
Audrey Scott,
they all back each other. Paulette Taja. In the reggae, in the soul scene, it would be nice to see Donny, Omar, Alicia Levone, Misha Paris, all back each other.
We're talking about Alicia Levone. You actually manage her.
Yes, I do.
You are a manager.
I manage the humble, beautiful, amazing Alicia Levone.
Alicia Levone's been around for more than a hot minute, in on the commercial level, up to now where she is really banging out some proper neo songs.
Yeah, we are actually working on a project at the present moment. We're just wrapping up a project that she's aiming to put out, hopefully, fingers and toes crossed, November. If not, it will be the early part of next year. But as you've hit on that, I would then go, can I go into my journey of artist management?
Yeah,
so the very first,
because that's what I was going to get to say that where you mentioned Alicia Levone and you mentored somebody before, well, the fact is, how did you manage to decide I want to manage these artists now?
Well, you know what happened? It all started off with a lady called Brooke Bailey. Brooke Bailey was my very first artist. I used to work with her mum, and she was young, coming up in the business, and she wanted to do music. And Brooke must have been about 15, 16. And I think she was younger than when I first started working with her. And you know, it was a case of getting a producer for her and blah blah blah. And we got a producer. She started working the producer and started writing music. And she's a brilliant writer. And that's how it started with Brooke. So Brooke was my very first artist. She done a tune called "So in Love." And what happened was, you know, like it in the beginning, it wasn't about managing, about help. I didn't say I was a manager. I helped her. Having a link, and then they asked me to manage her. And you know, Brooke has gone on to do EPs. She does songwriting for other people. She went to the same school as Amy Winehouse. It slipped from my head, but
not the Brit school. Yeah,
she went to the Brit school. That's right. So she went to the Brits and she done all that. And in managing her, then I said I went to Atlanta, and well, to be honest with you, Dean Undercover introduced me musically.
We're talking about Dean Undercover. He is actually quite high profile on the neo soul with bringing artists over as well, isn't it? So the link there with Dean with is it Jay? He's the company he works with. What's it called? JM Soul. They bring a lot of art along. Of course, you've got your Simon Soul gigs as well. You've got your Orlando dips in there and stuff like that. So all these EastEnder. So you've got all these people that have jumped and took a risk on the neo soul. So who would you say was the pioneer of starting that first, or you?
Well, let me go back to the conversation I was telling you, and then I'll get to that. Okay,
go.
Because
this is the management side.
So Dean Undercover introduced me musically to Carmichael. The tune "I Want You," I heard it, loved it. I was going over to Atlanta at the time, as I said, 2009, and I met Carmichael out there.
Yeah.
He already came over and done a show over here. I met him over there, and he was So before I went over there, we messaged and was back and forth on MySpace and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I brought the lovely Nadine Charles over there. He met Nadine. He had a track called Eternally on his Fantasy Rain album. Nadine recorded a track with him. She done her vocals. That started. And then, take it from there, me and him got closer and started working together. And then I started managing Carmichael. So I managed Carmichael with the Fantasy Rain project and the Pot of Gold project, where he's got a track with Alicia Levone on there. When I'm with you, she sang at the concert the other day. And then while I was managing Carmichael, I then was managing Chidi as well. So I wasn't managing Alicia then. I was just managing Carmichael first, and then Chidi. And Chidi's worked with Alicia, and they've done stuff on Chidi's project, and I said with Carmichael. Then me and Carmichael, we dispersed. He went and done his thing. So I had Chidi and Alicia. And then Chidi then went over to the Northern Soul. She wanted to try and...
Which is near soul, but it's deeper, isn't it? It's more...
It's not, it's more that funky.
It's more Western.
Funky.
It's more Western, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more
Western.
funky, it's more upbeat as well. So Chidi went over there, beautiful Chidi. You know, we worked together on the XL album, and then she went over there, and then obviously I was working with Alicia and Chidi, and now Alicia. And, you know, I must admit, I salute people like, you know, EastEnder, because he has taken that leap where he has brought certain artists over, which...
In America, they ain't recognised.
It's not that they're not recognised, but they're not recognised how we look at them.
How we perceive them.
How we look at them is like, oh my God, Selena Johnson dying. Yeah? Kanye Doss, oh my God, dead. When I interviewed her, the very first time I interviewed the woman, I got to because I had to hit her up on MySpace and we to speak on MySpace. But even though I never thought it was really her that was hitting me back, you know,
I got you.
You must have somebody else doing that. Because in my head now, I'm still feeling you're this big art, you're big out there. You come out there, it's like, And Peter, I got to interview this woman when I got there. And everything, so she I opened the door and she was standing there. She said, Christoss, my baby. I looked at her, she looked at me, and I told her to give me a moment. And I went outside.
You said, is it
and I closed my eye, and I started jumping up in my head. I had this moment. When I turned around, she was standing looking at me, she goes, you've had a moment, hey baby, you've had a moment. It was so embarrassing. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, people like Simon and Orlando, you know, EastEnder, they're taking the risk. I mean, even like D Nice from Rampage. Let me tell you something. She used to put a thing called Sold Out in West London. And she was, in a sense, the pioneer of bringing over the independent artists. You know, we worked together very well on that. And, you know, we had Carmichael's launch party for the album Fantasy Rain. You know, we done so much. And I must admit, what I was saying to you about artists, me being not infatuated, but you know, oh my God, it's a big artist. And then when you went over to Atlanta, as I said, when I was over in Atlanta and we were talking, you know, April Hall, I'm a solicitor by my day job. I'm a solicitor. Sorry. Oh, I've got my dentist practice. Oh, I'm a nurse.
Because they're not making the money that we all think.
I did Divine is a nurse. You know, and to me, I was like, what are you talking about? You're a singer. That's my side hustle. And that's when
you realise they're not all making the money you think.
And I thought, wow.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because you go to their houses, they got their studio, they got their little outhouse, they got their studio and da-da-da-da-da. Remember, a lot of them are independent. Like in Danby, back then, and Danby was independent. All of them, these are independent artists. And I just thought to myself...
And they're looking for the big break.
And you think to yourself, oh, now I get it.
But that's like all industry, isn't it? It's like we see...
Now!
Okay, let me show you from back in the day when I recognised all people. I mean, you can say people like Chris Brown, you can say like the Rihannas, you could talk about, of course, the P. Diddy's and the Jay-Z's. They're money people. Yeah. You know that. But when you're talking about a lot of these, okay, you could go into a Wiley, and then you could talk about, you know, all these UK artists, okay, a lot of them are just doing a 9 to 5 still, but the hype has to blow them up. hype has to blow them up. Half of them ain't got 5 pence to rub together.
No.
It's all hype. And even where I realise with us, I think we've got to get a little tiny bit more real to what is out there. Don't believe the hype.
Yeah.
That's very important in my eyes.
Yeah.
And with somebody like you coming now, you're managing Alicia Levone in a sense, and she's doing such a good job. And she's bringing good music. But when we go down and we download that tune for free, I'm a prime example. But the way I see it, as a DJ, I shouldn't be having to buy music in a sense that I'm promoting. Maybe you might think that's wrong, but if I'm churning out this music and playing it on platforms to promote you, I mean, the normal Joe Bloggs that sits at home, yeah, you should buy, you should support. But then again, some people can say, well, Peter, that's not really fair, because they're not really making as much money as you think.
Well, you see, that's the thing. I mean, they're not really making money at all, to be real. I mean, one of my arguments is, okay, it is a personal thing. I mean, I still buy music. Like,
you don't download?
No, I mean, I download, but I buy it. I pay my money in
Spotify and all the stuff like that.
I'm not. Spotify's not my friend. iTunes and Bandcamp, that's my friend.
Okay, I got you.
Right. Melonix, the new group out now, I bought their music. You know, don't get me wrong, I get a lot of music. But you see, the problem in getting music and buying music is two different things.
Yes.
See, when you buy it, it's yours. You pay your money for that.
Yeah.
And you make sure you enjoy that. You could send me a folder with maybe 60 tunes. And maybe only 15 of those 60 tunes is good. Yeah? But I've got to go through all that. When I start going through that, I know my attention span is not great. So after the first 3 bars,
that's it. So I have a good
the first few seconds, delete. That's a waste of time. Then if I go on my Bandcamp, boom, 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 I like that, pay my money, I'm good to go. I'm not saying to people, I'm not saying don't send me no more music, you know. I'm not dissing you, no way. Don't get it twisted. I appreciate it, but that's the difference.
Yes.
A man give you an album, you say thank you.
You cherish it.
Right?
Well, you
look after it. You look after it. You buy the album.
You cherish it.
You cherish it.
That's what I mean.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I see.
And I mean, at the end of the day, Alicia's my artist. Obviously, we do the music, we send it out to the DJs. But what I get, unfortunately for myself, is I send them the EP, and then you get the call. Yeah, I got the EP, you know, thanks, bruv. But you know what? Where's the other stuff? Pardon? I've just sent you an EP with 6 tracks, and you're asking me where's the other bits that the other people ain't got? That's on my laptop, not for you.
That's right. Exclusives.
That's on my laptop, the producer's laptop, and hers, not for you.
And the dub plates.
Pay your money.
That's right.
Because that's another problem. Because I manage Alicia and I'm a DJ. We should be getting everything for free. But what happened?
Not dub plates, no.
Of course.
No.
I've been told you should be bruv, you should be giving us them fees for free, bruv. No, because I've still got to pay the producer for her to, well, she's got to voice it.
Yeah.
He's got to do the production in it. He's got to do the editing. He's got to do the mix and mastering. And then who pays him?
Well, he does, because on that, with your, as well as the management stage and your DJ world came into a brand. I know you as Christopher George, but your name changed to DJ Christoss.
Yeah.
Who made up that name?
Arvis Digital.
Okay. Tell us how that
Arvis
came about.
Digital. One day he's at my house and was doing something. And he said, Chris! And what? And he was calling me, but I was doing something. And he goes, you tosser! And he went, Chris Tosser! And he went, Christoss! There you go! That's your new DJ name, Christoss! I looked at him for you fool. You idiot. But by that time, I didn't really have a DJ name.
Yes.
They used to call me Papa C back in the day. It was Papa C, you know, it's Papa this and Papa that. Papa C. I look like I was Papa C then.
You do with your beard.
Now. Me granddad C.
Yes, because you are a granddad. And you got a beautiful daughter as well. I remember her when she was a baby.
Yeah, you was around them times, man.
Around them days.
Yeah, you were around them times, yeah. My daughter. And, you know, I've got my daughter, got my 2 grandsons, Jeremiah and Roman, 7 and 4. Yeah, that's
It's lovely. Granddaddy's such lovely. I've got 3 grandchildren.
Well done.
I've got 2 girls and 1 boy.
And I know you before children.
That's right.
I remember when you had your first son.
Kofi, that's
yeah,
it.
Kofi.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
So on top of that now, I always say a part in the show, which is very, very important. There's always a good, there's a bad and an ugly.
Yeah.
Some DJs might suffer in their own little quiet time, depression, anxiety and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is there anything like that with you?
Depression. I would say I went through a part in my life, because I remember I lost my mum young. Remember, I was 18 when my mum
R.I.P.
When my mum passed, I was 18. So it was a case of lost mummy. My dad came over from America. He took my brother to America and said to me he was going to play my plane ticket in 2 weeks' time. I'm now at this big age, I never got the plane ticket. But I did go to America and, you know, see each other and blah, blah, blah. And I think my first point of depression was when, so my mum passed. We had the funeral on the Friday. After, when it came to do the funeral, had the funeral on the Friday. All the family is there, stayed over. The Saturday morning, my dad came and took my brother to America. He didn't tell me. I didn't know. Then I got the knock on the door. My brother come down and said, I'm going to America. When? Today. When? Now. Sorry. And he left. And then my aunts left and everything that day. So about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, there's me in this house with the cats. And I would say that was the first time I really felt that
you're on your own and depressed.
So you see, like Rosa and Rosalind, my cousins Edwin and Carol, as I said, Barrett and Dean. I mean, me and Undercover used to live together at one point. He actually used to live in my house with me. And, you know, Shuey.
Was that because that you were lonely?
It was. I think it was an amalgamation of everything. You know, he was at that point where he was at his teen. Remember, we're 18. We're young. We got a whole house for ourselves. I had a whole house for myself. So this is like, whoa, what do you mean parties? The amount of parties that's happening in that house. You know? And as I said, you know, them times there, yeah, you used to go and visit your brethren, but your parents was in the house. This is like brethren coming around, there's nobody there, just me. That was that open house. Yeah, Debbie John Pierre, I can, the list, Cheryl, Cynthia, Toby, the list is endless of the people that passed through that house. Yeah.
And there's sad times as well.
And it was sad times. But when the door is closed now, and it's you in your house on your own, I would say that was the first time I really experienced depression.
Did you experience a depression through COVID? Because I know you've had some sad news due to COVID, but how did the COVID treat you personally?
You know what? I have to say the truth. No, I didn't go through depression. And you know why I didn't go through depression? And I have to say...
you had your Zoom?
Well, Shuey was the reason why I didn't go through depression. Because when the COVID started, he said to me, now this is the time you sink or you swim. So I said, what do you mean? True. He goes, Chris, you're still playing CDs.
You got to move on.
You need to move on. So I want you to start loading up your laptop. Forget about all the music that you buy from iTunes that's on it. Start putting your CDs on it. And I was doing it intermittently, but you know, and I must admit, I wasn't studying it at all. I wasn't even using it to do nothing like that. Right? And Frankie Too Sweet, I have to say, he's one of the first that I know that started the laptop thing many years ago.
Controller, yeah.
Right? And he says to me, Chris, come on. No, I'm not doing it. Because I can be about that. I can be stubborn like that. From getting me from vinyl to CD was a task. Got into the CD thing, now I got my pouches. I'm good to go. Come to me now, I got to go laptop. What's this rubbish? And you know what it was? The truth of it was, I couldn't understand in my head, how did these DJs go to the raves and play from the laptop and remember the tunes? Because I know I'm not going to remember the tunes. I didn't realize. No. I didn't realize you make folder. I make folder. So it's like
old school.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I didn't know that. I'm not studying that, innit? So everybody's going and playing their thing like, way, enjoying yourself. But when, and it was true, said, you got to make up your folders, Chris. Like your CDs. And what do you mean? And then it's like, so you put the CD in, and then you do the track. And what it was, it's also, with my thing, because you buy many CDs over there, so you put in what you put in, because obviously I've got music on there because I have to always make CDs for people.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. And then I know, especially like the rare groove ones, you got to put it in and you got to put the track list in, and who's got time for that rubbish?
That's why you bring a youngster in to come and do that and give them a pocket money.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm old school in it. I don't want nobody touch it. Don't touch my thing. If you break it, I'm gonna break your head. Especially with my music. Don't do it. Right? So anyway, he goes to me, I give you 4 weeks. We're doing a Zoom party in 4 weeks' time, and you need to get your shit together.
And he did it.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to do this. Because the thing that made it so bad, my friend bought me the controller for my birthday a whole year before. That controller been sitting in that box. It's in the box and saying, okay, hi, you right? I don't have to plug. When you going to use me, please? I don't know where to plug. I don't know
going to abuse me.
When you going to do what you do? Plug it in there, plug. And the thing about it, what makes it so bad is like, what was so funny is like people was building me up to this thing. So that was that. My friend Junior, he bought me the controller bag. So everything's sitting pretty.
Yeah.
Nobody been used a Ross. And I said, you can stay there because I'm still pushing my CD in. So the last dance I played was Kenny Ramsey's dance, The King of Slow Jams.
Yes.
I felt, in a way, right, I must admit,
you were scared.
No, that was the night I felt embarrassed because I had my CD pouches.
Just in case.
No, I didn't have laptop then. I didn't do the laptop thing. That was the last time I played the CDs. And everybody there with them got their Mac, if they don't have Mac, they got their computer, they plugged in and they're good to go. And they're doing my little CD, wiping it on the side. I said, okay, then. We mash up, me and my dad, we mash up the dance. But I said, you know what? I need to fix up. After that, I said, I need to fix up. But then there was no dances, there was no nothing. I thought, cha. And then when Martin said, look, we got this dance to do it in. The first thing we done was the spot with Touch T.
Yeah.
And we done a 6-hour show. It was 6 to 9. We didn't come up to, I think, 2. But you know what? He said to me, Chris, please, sort it out. I said, okay, I'm going to do this. And you see, when I realised how easy it was.
Yeah.
I phoned up my cousin Frankie T. I said, Frankie. He went, yeah. He goes, go and open your mouth now. I didn't realise. I felt really, and I felt embarrassed for myself for being so ignorant. Right? Taking these 2 big old CD pouches, breaking all my arms and my limbs, where you just take the one little thing with your little laptop, your controller.
On your shoulder, and you're gone.
Now this is me.
Well, it's like some people as well that use the sticks.
Yeah.
Just to put in, just your memory sticks.
Yeah.
2 memory sticks.
And they go
all
to
the
go.
tunes come. And that's it. In their pocket. Where's the DJ? Where's your music?
Yeah.
Where's your controller? Because that's the way forward now.
It is, but Peter, I tell you something. It is the way forward, and I get it. But I think in the way forward,
nothing touches using vinyl.
Nothing touches using the vinyl. But I think what's also happened because it's the way forward, a lot of DJs have gone so forward that they've forgotten about the back catalogue of music.
Yes.
I understand there's a lot of music. I mean, for me now, as you know, I'm on cruise, and I have to say, I've now gone back in my back catalogue of music, because you turn on this independent, this neo, this bum. So at this present moment, it's not that I've jumped away from my neo soul, but I've gone back in my archives and pulled out some of those 1 and 2s that
memorabilia.
Yeah, man. Because I think that's very important sometimes for you to go back.
We're talking about the COVID as well, of course. Again, it's dampened you a little while because obviously you just lost your cousin.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Yeah. Very sorry to hear that. So those type of things, and obviously not DJing out so much and stuff. Did you find that a time just to relax, take it easy, and just be you for a while, or did you miss the playing out? Because obviously you've been playing out for many years. You know, week in, week out. If it's not with Shuey and the team, it will be with obviously After Dark. Obviously, I gotta keep saying Later Rest, the Fox and stuff like that, and Fantasia. So life must have changed a little bit for you, did it?
Life changed a bit for me in a sense of I think what it done, it gave me time to connect with certain people. Like, as you lot know, she calls me the handbag, I call her the grip lolly. It gave us some time. It gave me and Touch T some time. It gave me and certain friends that I haven't seen
to get to know who they are.
Yeah, to get to know that little bit more about them. It gave me some time to really, I'm a telly buff, I love telly. I love TV, I'm not ashamed to say it. I watch Emmerdale, I watch
EastEnders,
I watch Coronation Street.
And he records them all.
I
goes
record
back
them
to them.
just in case I miss them. But that's me.
Yeah.
I watch Love and Hip Hop. I even like Married at First Sight. It's embarrassing to say it, but that's me. You don't like it, it's your business. You don't have to like it, that's me. It gave me time to watch telly. It gave me time to connect with my grandsons.
Yes.
You know, it gave me time to connect with my baby, my daughter. It gave me time to it also gave me time to work on me. You know, just to think about myself and what I want. But what I was not prepared to do was get lost in this madness.
Yes.
You know, get lost in this madness. I mean, 3 years ago, I lost Fantasia, and that's...
I was going to come to that as well, because that was Tyrone's sister, sadly, R.I.P., who lost her life. And you were very, it was like your sister, wasn't she?
Well, she's like my wife.
Yeah.
Not even my sister, she's like my wife.
So that loss, that really did obviously hurt you, cripple you badly, didn't it?
I had to go for counselling. When I lost Fantasia, I had to go for 12 weeks counselling. And I remember the counsellor saying to me, you know, would you say your mother... So I lost my mum at 18, I lost my gran in 2011. That was my queen right there. I said my mum wasn't my queen, you know, my mum was my queen, but that lady there, that was the background. Half of the music in that house was Thursdays going to the record shop when she got her money and taking the record shop. You had money. You can have 5 songs, 5 tunes, I pay for 5. The rest of them you pay for yourself. My cousins, R.I.P. Rosette and R.I.P. Roslyn. Roslyn would take me on a Friday, right? So a lot of their music in there be paid for other people, right? But Fantasia, I have to say, when the counsellor said, your mum, your gran and Tracy, which death affected you the most?
Fantasia.
And I said, Fantasia. He looked at me, really? I said, yeah. And he goes, why? And I goes, because I was 18 when I lost my mum. When my gran passed, my gran had early stages of dementia. And the one thing I never wanted her to do is forget me.
Yeah.
I went to hospital that day, that evening. Me and her laughed, we talked. She would forget half of it. My old school friends, she remembered all of them. My new school friends, meaning new school in the last 5 years, she didn't know who they were. Even though she saw them on a regular basis, she didn't know who they were.
But she remembered Fantasia.
But she remembered, right. And what it was for me, I never wanted her to forget me. So when she passed, to me personally, she passed at the age of 79. Personally speaking, you had a good innings. And you remembered me, you remembered my daughter. The grandbabies didn't come by then, but you remembered the people you needed to remember, and I was good with that. See, with Tracy, it was a case of Tracy got ill, Tracy had the cancer, and she told me about it. I suppose, if I'm being honest, I was one of the first people to know about it.
Did she know she was sadly going to pass?
I don't think she knew. I think, to be honest with you, Tracy knew, but Tracy kept it away from me. And I think in the latter end, she knew. But what it was, in my head, Tracy was going to get better. She might not have never been the same person that she was, but there was no way she was going to pass. And that's what I felt. And because I felt that so deeply, even when it was coming to the latter end, in my head, you're not leaving me. And you see, when she left, it was like, damn.
Like your best friend's gone.
That was it. And I mean, I had to go for counselling. But what I feel helped, St. Joseph's, I have to say, St. Joseph, don't play. My counsellor was absolutely amazing. But what I would say was, on the last day, he said, you need to bring a picture of you and her. You need to bring an item of yours and hers. No, you need to buy an item of hers, a picture of you and her, and you have to bring like a tube or something and play the song. Her song, the Chanel song, Lovely Day. Because I must admit, when Tracy died and I went out and that song come on, I rocking that. I don't know how this was going on for ages, right? But when I done that, so I bought the picture, I bought the tube. He goes, line up the song, and there was a pair of shoes that Tracy used to wear. I love the shoes. And I asked her daughter if I can have the shoes, right? It's just having my million, not for me to wear them before anybody gets there, get it wrong. So anyway, I put the shoes on the chair on the floor, and he said to me, right, I want you to play the song and want you to say goodbye. And pardon? So what do you mean? He goes, you need to say goodbye. This is closure. This is the end. Wow. And I looked at him, I goes to him, what kind of wicked? He goes, no. He goes, no.
They know, don't
He goes, yeah. He goes, not wicked. Because you see, what also happened in the counselling to Tracy, a lot of other stuff came up. My childhood, my dad, my relationship with my dad, which is pants. My mum, gran, relationships, child, this, that. And you think to yourself, oh my God. This wasn't meant to do about that. That was meant to do that. But it all came up. So anyway, played the song. And there's me saying goodbye to this picture. I was on my knees. See, when I finished, I literally just breathed. I exhaled, and then the window was slightly ajar, and this gush of wind came in, and then there was a silence. He looked at me and goes, how do you feel now? And no word of a lie. I just felt like
relief.
Weight
has just been lifted off you.
And I walked out of there, and walking down the road, and I found Paulette, her friend Paulette, and this feather just hit me in my face, right? But the feather hit me, the first time the feather hit me in my face was when I went for the first counselling. And I remember asking, what does a old feather mean? I remember bringing the feather in, it was a white feather, big white feather. I was walking down the road and this feather, what does that mean? And he goes, that's your guardian. If somebody,
guardian angel.
Yeah, if somebody
you're very
has died,
spiritual, aren't you?
yeah, I am that as well. So he goes, if somebody that has died, that has been a big part of your life, it's your guardian angel protecting you. And I tell you what, I know she protects me every day, all day long.
She's behind you.
Be around my mum, my gran, her. I know my cousin now, Roslyn.
Do you believe that when you sadly fall over, I say fall over or pass over, do you feel to yourself that you come back in another way, reincarnation? I think is that something you believe in? Because I know you're a very spiritual guy.
Yeah. To be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if you do, because okay, I look at life like this. There's some people that's born and been really lucky in life, and there's some people that's been born and been really, really unlucky in life. I don't believe that his plan is for any of us to be unlucky in life, and I feel that if you've been unlucky in life, he has to give you another chance
to be lucky.
To be lucky in life.
Right.
But the only thing about you just don't remember the old unlucky in life.
Yes. There's so much to talk to you about, Chris, and obviously I know you're a busy man, but there's three things I always ask, and I like you to ask them and answer them in the best possible way. Where I go for a section that's called the good, bad, and the ugly, as
right.
we read, but we went straight. So, what's the good things about the industry?
The good things about the industry, I suppose.
Or what you've experienced.
What I've experienced now, the good things about the industry is like you can cut a lot of red tape with the artists.
Right.
So where I know, so like me, managing Alicia, I'm lucky that a lot of people come to me. But I think a lot of people come to me because they know that I'm a DJ. A lot of people come to me because I know that they know that I, I'm
know the link.
Yeah, I know the link.
You're not a fool.
I'm not a fool, and I'm quite approachable and all that kind of stuff. But what is nice is certain artists, especially the independent artists, you can hit them up direct.
Yeah,
you don't have to go.
Gone.
Yeah, you don't have to go through the
agency
management
and all that
agency
rubbish.
and all that crap.
Rubbish, gone.
You can hit them up direct.
That's why people are making a bit of money these days.
Yeah, because they're cutting the red tape.
It cuts it.
When Alicia was in the business, remember Alicia from the 90s, so
she's been there a long time. She
Maxi Priest, all her albums were Japanese imports. I mean, she got a massive fan base in Japan.
Yeah.
So hopefully when we finish the album, we're doing an EP first. When we finish the album, we're going to go to Japan and she's going to do her stuff out there. But I say in the industry now, it's making those relationships that before you couldn't make.
That's all the good things about it. What's the bad things?
Bad things in the industry that I just feel that teams are not working together. You know, you got that promotion company over there, you got that one over there, you got that one over there. I would like to see people more merge together. Work together, merge together. Not be so selfish and keep it all to yourself.
Are they selfish?
By keeping it all to themselves? I feel so.
In what way?
Okay, like for instance, I've got my production team, you've got your production team. You putting on your show, I'm putting on my show. Why can't we merge together and do it together? Why can't we merge together and do it together? Why can't we work together?
Is that greed?
Well, in a sense, when you look at it, it kind of like could end up being greed. I'm not saying it definitely is greed, but it could end up being greed.
But how about I found this corner and I'm promoting my own little space here, and I don't want you to know what I'm doing over here, because I've got my people coming here already. Instead of what's happening today is everybody's doing something on the same day as they know this promoter does it on this day.
Yeah, but why do that? You see, my argument is also why do that? If I know that I'm doing something on this day and I've already put it out there, I'm doing this, why are you going to jump on it and do that? Just bad mind.
But you could say the same about shops. You got one Caribbean shop here. Just say you got one Caribbean shop here. You got another Caribbean shop next door, and then you got even down to the chicken shop. You got one chicken shop here, and you got one chicken shop there. Isn't that the way of life?
I hear you when we talk about music.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But I'm just showing you the different sides of the argument.
And I see it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Everybody's. I mean, like me and Barron, we've got our catering business together, and we're doing our thing, and we work together. But you know, there's certain times that the job might not be big enough for the two of us. So you know, he's got his own outfit. I've got my own outfit. We've merged together and we work together, but we still got our outfits outside. So if say for instance he got something for maybe 60 people, I've got something for maybe 60 people. We'll do that separately. When it comes to 100, the 200s, the weddings, the christening, the big things, we work together. There's nothing wrong with that. But I feel that in this industry, some of them that could work together and make it bigger for themselves, they don't do that. I don't know if it's got to do with trust, or maybe because they've built their brand separately and they're just saying, well, I want to hold on to my brand. There's nothing wrong with that. But
so it's not ego?
There is egos. I would say there is ego.
Have you got ego, Chris?
Me? Of course I've got an ego. Do you know how beautiful I am? Oh my God, how dare you ask me? I'm on now. As I say to everybody, when people come to me and they go, oh my God, Chris, you look so well. I say, oh, thank you. I know that. They say, oh my God, you're so good. No. My mother told me, before you can love anybody in this world, you have to love yourself. And that means love you. Before I can love you or anybody. It says, for me, I am the epitome of beauty. I take that and I own it. Thank you.
Wow. So that's the good, the bad, and there's always an ugly. Has there been any ugly times you've experienced within the industry?
Yeah. There have been times when, you know, you go to a rave and, you know, you got to understand, like we talk about egos. That was my little ego moment. But I'm not that guy. So I'm the guy that will go to the rave. I know if I've got to go on at 1 o'clock, I'm getting ready to go on at 1 o'clock. You got them other DJs at 1 o'clock. Nah, man, cha, not yet. And you know, you get that one where you get either pushed in a, not pushed in a corner, but now you can wait. Or you know you got your time, then they change the timetable. All them little rubbish.
But can I say something?
Go.
If you know you're meant to go on at 1 o'clock and somebody won't let you go on at 1 o'clock, you're still getting paid.
Yeah, but then what they do is, what has happened to me before, it won't happen now because I won't allow it to happen no more. But there was times that, so say if I get to the rave before, say Dad gets to, before Polito gets to, or Shubi gets to the rave, and then you're there, what happens is, little things that happen, oh Chris, you might as well go and play now, innit?
So it messes up the cycle.
Yeah,
of the
and I say, no, it's not my time. No, but look, there's not really that much people. No, play before us. We're waiting for blah, blah. I've had that. And then all of a sudden, you miss your spot now, innit? So when you're supposed to come now,
You did.
oh no, but you played already. No, but you just asked me to. Them rubbish.
Yeah, that ain't happening. You know what Chris said?
Enough and
It's
again.
not happening.
No, sir. Them little things like that, or you know, you get to the dance and they say, "Oh, get there." Everybody's getting there early. You've got there, and the rest of them are not there. They're playing their little phone or whatever. Oh, Chris, go and play. And like he did, say, alright, it's like playing little thing. People come in, warming, boom, boom, boom. Everybody dancing, and then the big wigs come in and they're like, "Yeah, off. It's my time." Every time I say, "But hold on, I'm supposed to go in an hour," and we come, no, all them rubbish. And to me, that's the ugly side. Cause it just makes you feel degraded. It makes you feel like you're nothing. And because I'm not that fighting man. I'm not the one in there to, I'm not doing none of that. I won't do that. I will bow out very quickly, but I've marked you. Don't think I haven't marked you. And don't think when you see me you're gonna be hugs and cuddles and move. You will know by my expression on my face. Don't even bother. Yeah, and I feel, you know, I've never been in that one that's gotten into this passer and that madness and no, but you know, and you know, let's just put it out there. I'm not that man. You know, like you got the man. I'm not that guy. I know that I've got my little ways. I know I've got my dress sense is my own. How I am is myself. You know, I know a lot of DJs that they've looked at me like, he's gay. If I am or if I'm not, that's not your business. Mind your own, because who you rump up with in the night or in the day is your business.
Do you think people are going around saying that, Chris?
What do you mean, Peter? That has been a stigma from day.
Has it hurt you?
It's hurt me because for me, if that's what you feel about me, come and ask me the question. Come and sit down and have that conversation. If that's what you feel.
Do you feel to yourself that if you did, just say, if you were, and you did say that it would ruin your credits on the industry?
I don't really care if it does or if it doesn't. And that's the truth. We're big people. My sexuality and what I do in the presence of my own place is my business. And so is others, right? And what I'm saying, whether I am or whether I'm not.
It's been accepted now though, isn't it, really? If you are, if you're not.
To some people, it doesn't mean it's going to be accepted to everybody.
So if I asked you now and I asked you to tell people, would you say if you weren't?
No, because it's not their business. It's my business. If that's the case. Well, they've been thinking for many years. Okay. So continue thinking.
That was something you didn't need to say anything about, and it's good that you actually did express that. So people mind your own business, whether Chris is, whether Chris isn't. Just use your brain.
You know what it is? The only reason why I've said it, because it's what I would say is this. Certain times I go out and I would say this. I get the look. Like, okay, let's put it this way. You got the DJs that will come out and, yeah, you're alright, Christoss, and you know, but what I've noticed is how they treat certain DJs, either legendary DJs or other DJs in the circuit that they really admire or whatever. I always feel that I'm the underdog. I've always been treated that little bit different. So, you know,
do you mean like with a cuddle and a brace and stuff like that? Do you mean with a
cuddle and a brace, or just, you know, or it might be just that, you know, like now it's the elbow thing, innit? Boop, or the fist.
And that's just.
There's certain DJs that have treated me from the beginning of the industry all the way through, meaning that they're like the older DJs, right? As I always say, everybody knows, it's not a secret. My mentor was mystery. Has been mystery from way back then to now.
Yeah.
That's my mentor. I mentored of him. He's been my mentor.
Yeah.
And you know, you've got other DJs like Desi, you've got other DJs that, you know, you've looked at and you admire that, oh my God,
So are you
But
saying...
I would say, hold on, I would say the old school DJs embraced me differently with love and everything else. But you see, as it went along, where I was in After Dark, you remember in After Dark, the popular guys was Lee, Roger, Gary, Fox. They were the popular ones.
Yeah.
So they got treated differently. You know, oh my God, boom, boom, boom. And then when it came to me, you're right, Christoss. And as it's gone along,
it's hurt you.
Yeah. You know, there's certain DJs that, you know, when they see me like, you're right, but deep down, you undress me with your eyes like, look at his waistcoat, Look at you, say, oh my God, why's he got yellow shoes on? Why's he got this? Why's he got that?
But you want to be different, Chris.
I've always been different. I've never been the guy that's conformed to the norm. And I think but on the other hand, even though it's hurt me, but on the other hand, I have to say this. Because I've never allowed it to drag me down, I feel that's the only reason why I think a few of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but they admire me in their own different way. Because like, you know what? This guy, but he's held his own.
But you're respected in the industry, Chris. You have been on the underground. It's a very hard world out there, our industry. It's not easy. It's not easy sailing. It's that, you know, you've either got to be strong or you're not.
You have to be a strong cookie.
Otherwise you'll fall over.
Or you'll flipping sink. But as I said, I think also one of the reasons why, I suppose, I've never taken it that I've been, you know, like people say, oh my God, you're so respected. I think, oh, shut up, you're chatting shit. But what I would say is, I think because of the people that I have around me and my coat of armor, meaning
you're
like
protected.
My friends.
You're protected.
Yeah, my family, like, you know, they say this thing like, you can't choose you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
Yeah.
I chose my family and my friends.
You know who your friends are.
Yeah. So like Shubi, there's Polito, there's Cynthia, there's, you know,
nothing else cares.
Nothing else bothers.
Yeah.
And I think because I've got my protection, and I think because of what I've been through as a child, like losing my mum so young. And my brother going to America, and it's just me one left.
Your brother, is he in the music business as well?
No, there's not enough of that.
And he's just immigrated states.
No, well, when my mum died, and dad came over, took him to America, and he's done his own thing. So, you know, he's married, he's got his kids, he works in hospital, he does his own thing, and yeah, he's lived his life. I'm over there. I go to America, you know, when I can, go and see them and that kind of thing. But yeah, I would say for me, I have very much got my coat of armour in it. Like, you know, Delroy being my manager of crews, very much behind me.
See, that's another thing, because obviously that will come in a little while with what you're up to now. But I do know we're talking about your radio stations. You've been on quite a few radio stations.
CRN, Love FM.
That's where we
met. Yeah, we used to play on CRN. And SAS. She used to play on CRN because we used to do a show together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then of course you've still been on a few other stations.
Yeah, I went to Lightning. I was on Lightning. I was on Sounds of Urban London. That was the last station I was on for a long time before now I'm on Cruise. Cruise is your new station now as well. Why did you leave Lightning? You were there for a very long time. I think what happened with Lightning, I was on Lightning, I enjoyed Lightning, I done everything with Lightning, especially like my independent side of me. That's when that took over Lightning. I was on Lightning, I was interviewing artists, jingles, this, that, bam, 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 and I thought it was wicked. And then it came to a point where it started to, I think then I was really into the management side and everything else. And then it just got to a point where it just got too much. I don't know if you've ever got to that point where you're working, looking after people, trying to have a life, having a relationship, the cooking side of it, the management side of it, the radio side of it, the playing out side of it. It got to a point where I sat down one day absolutely exhausted, and I assure you, well, you must know, I've got diabetes as well. So I suffer with diabetes, insulin and tablet form. So this COVID thing, you don't want to catch it? I didn't want it. So I said to myself, I can't. And I just had to break. Something had to give, and a few things had to come off, and they had to go. And now you're on Cruise. And your show on Cruise is? Every Tuesday, 8 to 11, and every Sunday, 5 to 7. Don't worry, he's coming to injections. And that's it, he did. You did come to me with injection, but you see what was. I came you well before Cruise. No. Well, what happened was, when Delroy was setting up Cruise, it must have been a whole year before Cruise came out, he said to me, I want you back. I want you on my station when it comes out. And he goes, Chris. No, it's loyalty, of course it is. I want you on my station. Remember, he was a part of my management when I was on Lightning. And I thought, okay, Now in the beginning I said no, I'm not doing it. And you see what it was? He had 2 conversations with me about it, and he just left me for the whole year. I never from Delver again. I thought, you know what, Delver's chatting rubbish. You're not doing no radio station, chatting shit. You're chatting batty. Yeah. And I left it like that. And then the joke of it all was
Christmas.
Just before, it must have been the July, August. Delver came and said to me, right, we're starting cruise and blah blah blah. I'm lying. He goes, I'm starting the station. He didn't give me the name. He didn't give me nothing. The only thing he wanted to know was what day I wanted to go on. Yeah? And I said, I wanted a Wednesday. I argued for this Wednesday. I fought. And he goes, no, can't give you Wednesday. Tony T's on it. No, he didn't even tell me who was on the Wednesday. Can't give you Wednesday. I said, okay, I'll take the Tuesday.
And you've been doing that ever since?
And I've been doing it ever since.
And also, when we say the good, the bad and the ugly, the bad and the ugly are together, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. This is another thing very interesting. Name me your 5 favourite sounds. Everyone gets stuck.
You know what? My 5 favourite sounds that are still here, or sounds that have ended?
I would prefer it to be here. Make it harder for you.
But you see, it's hard because I wouldn't like to say a sounds because, okay,
MCs are going to come up soon.
Lolly's in a bracket by herself.
One-man band. But she's not. She's with Emma, isn't she?
She's with Emma, but yeah, I suppose. So I would say Lolly, don't play.
Okay.
That girl.
She's an up-and-coming though, isn't she?
She's there. She's not up-and-coming.
No, when I say an up-and-coming, she's a new kid on the block, isn't she?
She's a new chick on the block, but I tell you something, she's an old head. And that is one of the things that, where it concerns her, and it's not only that she's an old head, she's a brand. She's got it.
Yeah.
She's got this thing cornered properly. And you know, a lot of people's gonna say I'm biased because she's your girl, handbag in the grip, blah 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 blah. Nah, she gets the game. She understands the game.
Yeah.
And I feel
she's been mastering her craft.
She's been mastering her craft for a while. She sat down and she said, I got this. And you see, she's one of these ones, when she disappears and she goes quiet,
people recognise.
That's when you got to know she's coming.
So let me ask you a question then. So obviously, Lolly, I'll give you that as a 1, even though it's not a sound. Give me 4 more.
Special touch.
2.
Special touch. I've raved with special touch from Wade. And I have to say...
How come you never went in there? There was a time where you were thinking about it, wasn't there?
There was a time I really wanted to.
Why didn't you get called up?
I didn't get called up because, you know what, sometimes you have to know to yourself, let me just still enjoy you how I do. You know, special touch of sound that, you know, me and Goody, we're friends. Me and Nigel, we're good. You know, we're all friends. We're all friends, I can say. But what it is about special touch, what I love about special touch is the consistency of them. They've got I mean, there was a time that After Dark, Special Touch, Studio Express, Bowles Road, don't play. 3 sounds, going into that house, and we've done this for good few years, mashing up dances.
Well, you've done a lot of blues dances.
You know, I come from blues dance. I still love a blues dance. And Special Touch, Studio, us, bad, can't play, don't play. We was in it. And what it is about Special Touch, it's not only that, me and Goody are good friends, we're friends. And I think, as much as, you know, everybody's had their relationship with people and they, you know, but you know what it is for Special Touch? I remember going and listening to them in them blues dances, like when Nigel had a birthday party in Stoke Newton, across the road from, it was near the prison. You remember the prison?
Yeah, I remember the prison. And Louis used to own.
Yeah, and Nigel had a dance in this broke down scaffolding house. And he was like, bye. When is Def Chat be taking? But let me tell you, the dance nice. And I think with Special Touch, what I love about them is they're always gonna do something. They're triers. They've been triers for years. Triers, and they try.
Would you say they succeed?
In their own way, they do.
Do you reckon they could succeed on their own?
Yeah, I think they could succeed. No, but they do succeed on their own because they're on their own.
No, because people call it is it not the consortium?
The cartel.
The cartel.
The cartel. I would say.
What do you think about that name?
Well, the cartel before. I mean.
Would you say they all back each other?
I would say they do. I would still say I would, because who's the cartel? It's Fifth.
It's Fifth,
Studio and Special.
And Special.
They've built their own. I mean, remember the cartel before? What was it? The cartel, was it Consortium? No, it was the cartel.
Consortium is
no,
G.
No, Consortium. No. Consortium was Frankie Too Sweet.
Okay.
Frankie used to have the Consortium.
So there's a few Consortium.
Him and Frankie Beverly, they done the Consortium.
Okay.
They had the thing called the Consortium with Midnight Express.
Okay.
Yeah, I jumped in and out of that. But the cartel, if I remember rightly, the cartel original cartel was Mystery.
Okay.
Way back in the day, Mystery had the cartel.
Okay.
Because I remember, and he used to do it in hotels.
Did he used to do it with the Twins?
He used to do it with the Twins, Mystery Crew, and they had the cartel. And I remember us playing as After Dark in one of the hotels. We went away for like a weekend of kind of thing. Yeah, but kudos to them.
Okay, so that's 2. You still got 3 more.
Bum. Desi Barry.
Desi and Barry.
Desi and Barry for the longevity of music. In a sense, regardless of anything, when they get out there and they're playing their music, they're united.
They were the blues dance, right?
They are the original blues dance.
Them and Mystery were the blues
Them and
dance.
Mystery take me back to that.
100%. So there's 3. So how about the 4th one? He's struggling. I don't understand how all these DJs struggle when it comes to...
You see, because what it is because you see, okay, like you go, okay, Studio, Fifth. In a sense, all these DJs I have DJ'd with over my peers and my time. There was a time that you couldn't get to play with the Mysteries and the Desis and the Legs and blah blah blah. You only could play with the new school kind of people, which the new school they like to say is Fifth and Studio and even Special. They want to call them new school, but they ain't new school.
They've been around there
they're as old as me. They might be just younger than me, but they've been around in the blues dance as well.
Long time.
So how can I really say,
You still got 2 names.
You're wicked bad. You're bad, wicked instead. You're wicked bad and awful.
By the way, he's Dominican. Forgot to.
I'm Dominican. I'm a Dominican. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
what, Chris?
No. Shiri's not in the sound. Okay, if I'm being straight up there, I would have to say, but I can't really say After Dark because my own.
I'm going to hold you back because I think it's wrong for me to make you false into what's not.
No. Let me go there. I would say Fifth Avenue and Studio. Okay. I would put them in there together alongside, and I'd have to say Ratty and Frankie Beverly.
Well, there's your 5. You struggled though. I don't understand. Also, 5 MCs.
Well, for me, my top MC has to be my dad, Polito Don. MC, aka dad, father. I have to give him that salute. Polito, Juxie, Barry White. I'm not putting them in no particular order.
That's cool. 3.
I'm saying
got 2
Hollywood.
4. You got 1 more.
Frankie Beverly.
There you go. There's your 5.
Frankie Beverly. Sorry.
So Christoss.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
What's next for me is my catering company really cementing the package, because before the COVID happened, I was ready to give up my job and take the catering business on the road properly. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Mobile kitchen?
I was thinking of doing something. I don't want to do a restaurant. Don't want to do no restaurant, but maybe a mobile thing, something. There's something else I want to do with it. And I was getting the plans together, and then the COVID came and everything's went. Now it's rethinking,
Back to thinking,
repackaging. The good thing about it, myself, Barrington and Lolly, we done All Cocoa White year before last. We done the food for All Cocoa White. They want us back again with All Cocoa Black this year. And, you know, it's a case of really enjoying, because I love to cook, so enjoying the fact of building this brand, A Taste of Excellence, to another level, the catering.
Yes. Do you feel that your music side, that you've done everything you need to do, you could hang up as Christoss tomorrow?
If I passed away tomorrow, I would say I know that I definitely have made a mark on this earth. Especially going back to cruise. Going back, Shuey taking me out of CDs to laptop, controllers, and the backing of everybody behind me that said, Lolly, Touch T, can't forget that man. The spots.
Yeah, he's opened up a massive door.
Pushed me. As I said, Frankie Two-Pre pushed me. These guys have pushed me. Even like Tony T from our station. That guy there, Tony T, Double T, pushed me. My guys, the 18 family, as I said, a lot of pushing. Lady Sass, bam. Sai. You know, now we've got a platform called Up Close and Personal. Myself, Sai, House Party Queen, Touch T. That's our new little baby. You know, and as I said, when you're getting the pushing from the people, unless you decide to stand still and say, I don't want you to push me no more, no.
Can I ask you something? And I might be a little bit biased here before I let you go, because it's been a very, very interesting interview. Answer this question. With the situation with radio being on an FM, turning a knob, and now you come off of an FM, you have a chance to go on whatever FM, but you're actually on an internet now. Do you feel to yourself it's no difference? Do you find yourself it's hard work? Or do you feel to yourself, I love it?
I love it.
Do you think internet radio's the thing to come now?
I think now it's definitely the thing.
It's proved itself.
It's proved itself. You know, where before we used to go in them buildings and we did develop building, the water dripping down, the kind of madness. Child, I've been in some buildings, boy.
You did it.
You've been in them ones, man, boy, in the flat and the DTIM. Oh my God, the DTIM, all them kind of madness. Now, let me tell you something. Right about now, I found me. In this radio thing, especially doing the live streaming now, you know, because the first thing I say, look at me, I'm clad and see my back face. That's my thing. And I really, you know me, Peter, I love my music. I'm very, very passionate about it. So when I'm playing my music, I got my head up in my head, I'm rubbing my face, and I'm all up in my feelings, and I'm taking off my top and showing my chest. Oh yeah, I love it.
So if there's a DJ out there that wants to get into this game, would you advise them?
My advice would be you when you're playing your music. Don't look at anybody else, look at yourself. Know your lane of music. I'm not saying, you know, because as I said, with myself, I suppose I'm
stronger.
I would say I'm a half all-rounder. And what I mean by that is, you would get me playing my 80s. Give you a good bit of 80s, good bit of 90s, good bit of neo, good bit of rare groove, good bit of revival, good bit of lovers. Don't look for no house. Don't look for no funky. Don't look for no what you call it, Afro beats. Don't look for no bashment. Even though old school bashment, fine. Don't look for no bashment. Don't look for no this, that, and definitely don't look for no soca.
I'll tell you what you got to look for. Got to open up my glove.
Is it a gun?
You need to take that box out.
This box.
And I'd like to say, Christoss, on behalf of the industry street, this has been all about your life. Thank you so much for this interview. I've enjoyed it.
Oh my God.
And that is yours.
Oh wow. Guys.
Can you tell everybody what it says?
The Industry Streets presents DJ Christoss for the contribution to the music industry. My Lord. I've never had an award. I've never had an award. This is my first award in on my 24 years at 30. 24 years at 30 in my journey. I thank you. I thank you so much, my brother. That's going on my mantelpiece right now. And all the other bits and pieces that's on there can piss off. because this is what's right. This is what's happening right about now. If you lot haven't got your award, I'm sorry, but I got mine. I got mine, boo boo.
Thank you, DJ Christoss, for
Thank
your time.
you, Peter.
Thank you for your story. It's been very, very, very interesting. There was things on there that you didn't need to say and you did say, and I appreciate you for that, because the truth only sets you free.
It does.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Next week we've got another big banger for you. Watch out, watch this space. Of course, he was talking about my space, but this is this space. Peter Terry back with another big story next week. Take care. Bye. And don't forget, go on YouTube and you'll catch the full story if you've never got to hear about DJ Christoss. Thank you.